Yo, hey guys, SmallmouthCrush, see this picture right here? This day changed my view on bass fishing, my life forever. I'll never forget this moment. It was 2007, and here I am standing next to the Bassmaster Classic champ, Boy Duckett. It's one of the reasons why I got involved with bass fishing. In fact, if that day didn't happen, I probably would not be here right now. If I did not attend that classic and feel the energy, the excitement in the arena, and watch those fish come across the stage, watch the Super 6, it was unbelievable, and it literally got me hooked on bass fishing. Now fast forward all these years later, seems like it's sad. It's sad what's going on right now. I'm gonna get into it. That's all coming up. Well, I originally wanted to make a video, and if you talked to me a year ago, there's no way I would be like, really? I'm not going to be fishing this organization. I'm not going to be fishing these tournaments. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. So I was originally going to wait to put out this video until after the FLW Costa Championship on Lake Cumberland. We're just getting into the practice videos right now, and the actual tournament will be uploaded in the next, hopefully in the next week or so for you guys to watch. And that's when I was gonna announce kind of my plans, what I was gonna do next year when it comes to tournament fishing and what direction I was gonna go. You know, the last 3 years I fished primarily local tournaments on the Chesapeake Bay. I fished the Northeast FLW BFL, and I also fished the FLW Northern Costas, and it was awesome. I loved doing it. I made a little bit of money and had a lot of fun and was successful at that, and it kept me going. It gave me something to look forward to, you know, every other week. Okay, here's a BFL on Lake Champlain, here's a Costa on the Potomac River. It was exciting, and ooh, we get to make the championship. I was able to qualify for the FLW Tour every year that I fished. Best finish was second in Angler of the Year, and my worst was, I think, around 11th or so last year. This year, I made the cut again to get an invite for the FLW, but it seems like a lot of guys actually got that invite. So let's get into the situation that's kind of unfolding and what my plans are going to be for next year. So there's been a lot of changes in professional bass fishing, especially this year. You know, we had the mass exodus of pros from the Bassmaster Elite Series going over to the MLF. When it first started, I was like, you know what, because when I fished at Bass, I felt some of the same issues that the current elite anglers were feeling, and why they decided, you know, to leave. And I was rooting for MLF at the time. I wanted them to succeed. I was excited. All the big names were heading over there, and I was anxious to see how that all played out. You know, Brian the Carpenter on Ike Live the other night said it perfect. He enjoys watching both circuits, and he feels that the anglers need to figure out which circuit suits their style of fishing. And I can't say it better. That's really probably the best direction to go, you know, as far as an angler, what suits your style. I just could not, me personally, could not get into the catch as many fish as you can. And you know, I'm a 5-fish type of guy, five your biggest bag, bring them back to the scales, weigh them, and I enjoy that excitement. So that's just my style. I enjoy the 5-fish limit. That's why I love fishing the Costas. That's why I love fishing the BFLs. And so this year, I was actually able, spoiler alert, I did well in the, and you'll see that if you guys follow my channel and watch my other videos, I did well in the Lake Cumberland FLW Championship. Now, MLF recently bought out FLW. So, big news. It was a big news. There was about 9-10 months leading up to this where we knew they were in talks, they were in negotiations, and then all of a sudden it happens. About a month before the championship, that's when MLF, FLW announced that there would not be an FLW Cup. They're going to change the format. They're going to change the whole system. And so for the guys that qualified for this championship, So here's what frustrates me about this whole situation. When I signed up to fish the 2019 Costa Series Northern Division, I was told in this nice pamphlet here that I had a shot at X amount of dollars depending on what position I placed. I was told that the top 40 people in Angler of the Year for each division would qualify for the championship, and all that was true. It happened. I was able to qualify through the championship. But guess what? So they also said that the top 2 anglers in the 5 divisions are going to get a shot to go to the FLW Cup in 2020, which is huge. Guess what? Last place is $10,000. First place is what? 300 grand. So there's a lot of room to make some good money in this championship. Now it's tough. Only 10 guys plus, I'm sorry, 1 international angler and then the co-angler that won all get an invite to the FLW Cup. Well, it's not happening anymore. So basically, they pulled that away from us. We put all of our money, all of our entry fees, all of our time, our energy, our passion into trying to qualify, and a month before the tournament, gone. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So that was super frustrating. I tried for 3 years. I finally get it. And here's just a side note. I believe that the FLW Cup, before it was taken away, was going to be in August on the St. Lawrence River, of all places. And we know that because the new big tournament that's out there is called the FLW Title Championship, which is going to be on the St. Lawrence River in August of 2020. So unfortunately, I did not get the invite just yet. Fingers crossed. I'm going to share with you what I've done up until this point. I'm going to lay it all on the line and share with you guys exactly, the steps I've taken so far. And I'm hoping there's maybe one shot here to try to get them to understand, as goodwill, good faith in the organization, you guys need to take care of your anglers. I know some of the guys right now that are involved with MLF and FLW are certainly watching this video, and I'm just asking you guys to do the right thing. Let us fish the title championship. Going into the championship on Lake Cumberland, during the meeting there was no mention of the cup, no mention of anything. It was basically almost like just any other open out there. We went through the procedures. I made the top 10. I was able to fish on the last day, actually moved up a few spots, and was able to be the first person in the Northern Division to qualify for what would have been the FLW Cup. So driving back home, I was super upset. One of my buddies I was rooming with, you'll see him on the videos. We were in the same situation. He also qualified. So it was like, we just could not believe this was happening. We talked about it jokingly 2-3 months leading up to the event, how, man, I bet we're gonna both make the cup, they're gonna take it away, and we're gonna do some epic mic drops on the stage and have all this, speech planned out. And it sort of happened. We both qualified. It was crazy. The epic mic drop didn't happen though. We wanted to be smart about it. And so it took me a few days, and I put together a letter, and I actually sent it to Jim Wilburn, who's, I believe, the president of MLF. And it was a nice letter. It was a perfect letter explaining our feelings, our thoughts, and asking them if A, are they going to compensate us in any way, or B, are they going to allow us to fish in some type of championship. Now, keep in mind, this was right after the championship that week in early November, before they announced the title sponsor, before all these other tournaments got announced. At first, that the FLW Tour, which is now kind of a feeder system for MLF, that was going to have like an Angler of the Year race, and that was going to be the main tournament, was an Angler of the Year tournament. Since then, they've switched it and made it a title championship, which I feel for sure all 12 of us should be able to fish that event. It's wrong what they're doing. So I'm waiting for the response from Jim, and it only took about an hour. I remember it was on a Saturday, and I checked my email, boom, there it was. I was like, awesome. Maybe we'll get some direction on what's going to happen here, because I still had no idea that they were planning on doing absolutely nothing for the angler. And he responds, hey, congratulations, blah, 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 but, you know, I'm going to pass this on to the appropriate people. So that went out to Kathy Fennell, Dave Washburn, Don Rux, and Boyd Duckett. And I thought, all right, now, you know, we got it to some more main people. Hopefully we can get some answers. A couple days go by, almost a week goes by, my phone rings and I see it's from Kentucky. I'm like, all right, there it is. FLW's calling me. It was Bill Taylor. He's just, hey, congratulations on making the tour. I just wanted to extend an invitation to you. You know, you qualified through the Costas to fish next year. Would you be interested? And I stopped him right there. I said, listen, Bill, I need some answers as to how you're going to handle the FLW Cup qualifiers from this championship. You know, on a side note, the sale of FLW supposedly went through on Friday, and the new ownership was Saturday. This was during the tournament, actually. So we competed with FLW ownership and ended the tournament with MLF ownership. And, you know, he said, you know, I don't think there's anything we're going to be able to do, but let me, I'll have someone get back to you. And so at that time, I'm really bummed out. I'm talking with Matt back and forth. He actually touched a little bit on his show, Bass Talk Live, and it was, you know, it felt like we couldn't do anything. Like it just felt like they were hoping that it would just blow over and they would just move on. But I'm not gonna let it blow over. I'm gonna try to do everything possible to make this right. So a couple days later, getting off the phone with Bill, I get an email from Kathy basically saying, congratulations, you know, the cup is gone, so is the compensation, and any other tournament that you guys are gonna fish. Have a wonderful day. Pretty cut and dry, and pretty mean. I did not take it too well, and I just I was pissed off about it. So I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I put a couple messages on Facebook letting people know about the situation, but I kind of hinted around things. I was looking for a 2019 packet that had all the rules and regulations, see if there's any fine print, seeing what options I had out there. So I also reached out to some lawyers. One individual who deals a lot with anglers, actually two individuals that deal a lot with anglers and some of the issues that they have. And I had some meetings with them, and it sounds like we would have a shot, a case, but as far as going after compensation and whatnot, but there's a lot of costs associated with that, and I just felt it wasn't worth it. In fact, you know, it would probably cost me just as much in lawyer fees as it would to get the minimum of, you know, at least the $10,000 what every qualifier should have got. And I'm not interested in the 10 grand. I'm interested in a shot to, you know, to do well in a major event, and you know what the FLW Cup would have offered. About a week later, I'm looking at social media and I see a gentleman by the name of Preston Crayston. Preston won the Living the Dream package, which is a different part of FLW. But what happened was, I believe he won a boat, a truck, entry fees into the tour, everything. And I look at my social media feed and I see something along the lines as, I'm so mad at MLF. And I was like, what's this all about? And I started getting some phone calls in, started talking to some people. And for about 24 to 48 hours, they told this young man that they were not going to honor their commitment, their side of the bargain for the Living the Dream package. So he had to come up with a bunch of money. I guess he quit his job. He was planning on fishing the tour. I mean, it was going to be all paid for. And then FLW basically said, no, it's not going to happen. Well, there was so much criticism on social media and so much pressure, I feel, on FLW that they had to make a decision in favor of letting this guy fish. And that's why I believe he was able to get the Living the Dream package, and I'm happy for him. As far as the other 12 anglers though, we're still fighting, and I'm gonna reach out to you guys for some help here in a little bit. I'm gonna show you how you guys can get involved, and maybe we got a tiny shot here to get what is rightfully ours. So seeing what the power of social media did for Preston, I thought, why not get some exposure and put some feelers out to see, do I have the right to be angry and upset? And do I deserve a shot at something I was promised a year ago when I signed up, when I paid my entry fees for? And the majority of people overwhelmingly agree. And I woke up, so actually let's go back. Last night I was on Ike Live, and I'm gonna actually put the link below. It was a great program. Joe Baylog did an unbelievable job. He was one of the people that they interviewed about the industry, about some of the changes. Then they took some phone calls. I was able to get on towards the end of the show, so it's worth watching the whole thing, but it went on for like almost 3.5 hours. So if you want to fast forward the last 15 minutes or so, you'll be able to hear my situation. And they all agreed, and a lot of their fans agreed, that it's just not right. And with that momentum, I woke up this morning with a lot of messages, a lot of support from people. And I also saw that somebody, I know who, somebody in Indiana, I'm not going to name names just yet, started a change.org, which is basically a petition, and it was written up quick and to the point. It was beautiful. It said, let these guys fish the championship, give them a shot. It was unfair what FLW and MLF did. Let's give them an opportunity to fish. And so it spread all over the place. I couldn't go through my feeds today without seeing it anywhere. And we have a bunch of people sign the petition. I'm going to leave that link as well below. If you guys could, my subscribers, people that are watching this video, it's real important if you could take a second just to sign up for it and share it on your social media feeds. Who knows, maybe in the next 48, 72 hours, there'll be enough pressure that FLW will be able to backpedal, which they've been known to do, and somehow come up with an agreement to get us into that championship. So I would really appreciate your help on that. It should never have even come to this. It really shouldn't have. It's both organizations' fault, and it's certainly the new organization's issue to deal with the right way. They're telling us that they're for the angler. They're not. If this is what they're going to pull, they're certainly not. And I'm upset for a bunch of reasons. Before this sale even went through, FLW should have had some type of clause, some type of an agreement in that buyout that, hey, we got 12 guys that are going to move on to a major tournament that we promised them at the beginning of the year. Now, if these talks were going on for 8-9 months, they probably knew there was going to be no cup. So they're trying to sell us on some fantasy. If that's the case, I'm extremely upset, and you guys should be too. I think that's what happened. Even if that wasn't the case, let's say they had no idea, then when the new owners took over, they should have been a clause to protect those anglers that they supposedly care about. And the new ownership, they should find a way to make this right. I mean, just out of goodwill. It may be legal that you guys can screw us over of how the exchange in businesses took place, but who wants this? Who wants this bad publicity? I mean, this is not right. There's thousands of anglers that agree with me There's going to be thousands more that are going to boycott the BFLs, not sign up for the Opens, and are going to start looking for alternative organizations to fish. Organizations that you guys, MLF, ran away from to try to escape. And now look at it, come back around full circle. Anyway, so I'm not good at rambling on about stuff like this. I'd rather talk fishing, but I thought we need to get this video out there. Now's the perfect time. I could certainly use your guys' help on social media. You can follow me on my Facebook page as well as my Instagram at SmallmouthCrush. Follow along, see how this is all going to unfold. I think it's a long shot here, but something needs to be done. And with that being said, I want to talk to you guys about what my plans are for next year. Because I had a lot of people asking me, you know, what are you going to do? And there was a couple options. I love the FLW Costa Series. I love fishing it. I love the changes that they made for next year. They made some more divisions. There's a $200,000 first place prize in the championship. And they're a lot of fun. I enjoy fishing them. We're going to be fishing some amazing bodies of water. Champlain, Detroit, St. Clair, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. Places that I love to fish. As well as the BFLs. Those are always fun. Hang out with your buddies, you know, not take it too serious and just have a good time. Unfortunately, the way FLW has treated myself as well as the 11 other anglers, and the fact that they don't care about us, they don't. If they cared, they'd make this right. I'm not going to be able to participate in any of those FLW tournaments. Believe me, I would love to jump into the FLW event, the BFL in the Chesapeake Bay, my home body of water. I do pretty well there whenever I sign up for an event. I would love to fish the St. Lawrence River this year in the Costa Series, jump in, cherry pick. I just can't do it. It's just not, it's not right. So yeah, the money's there. I could take some money this year and have some fun competing in those events. But just in my heart, what they did to us, I'm not going to be able to fish FLW next year. So that's out. Call it a boycott, call it what you will. Unless FLW MLF makes this right for us anglers, the 12 of us that deserve to be able to move on, to be compensated for what we were promised, I'm not going to be fishing any FLW MLF related formats next season. With that being said, guess what, guys? That clears up my schedule big time, so I'll be able to do a lot more guide trips on the Chesapeake Bay. I'm going to be doing a lot of guiding March, April, May, and believe it or not, well into June. We're going to be guiding pretty much every day out there. I'm planning on jumping into a lot of local events on the Chesapeake Bay during that time frame. I'm also going to be fishing Thayer's Marine Team Tournament Trail, which is an amazing trail for the angler here in the Northeast. It's a team event, guaranteed cash prizes as well as a boat, which is a championship on the St. Lawrence River. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm also going to try and jump in to the Thousand Island Open and just have a blast. From the month of July on, I'll be pretty much up on Lake Ontario for the remainder of the season. So in the next couple weeks here, I know I had a lot of guys reach out to me on email and voicemail looking to book a trip, whether it be on the Chesapeake or up north. I should have a very good idea of the dates that I will have available. I'm going to be doing a bunch of sport shows and stuff this winter as well. So we'll get all that squared away. And if you guys are interested in booking a trip with me, you can check out my website, travismanson.com. Send me an email and we'll get you set up with some dates. So that's it for next year. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot more guiding and not as much fishing. One good thing is it's going to allow me to really focus on my YouTube channel. That's something that, I love filming my tournaments and my practice videos because Believe it or not, I think I fish harder, I practiced harder when that camera's on, knowing I gotta get something cool to show you guys. I gotta get on a pattern, I gotta do well in a tournament. So there's a bunch of different things I wanna do with the channel. Now they have a little bit more free time. Of course, we're still gonna have tournaments. We're gonna have a lot of local tournaments on the Chesapeake Bay every Saturday, every Sunday. There's going to be a bunch of team tournaments. That big Thousand Island Open, I'm sure there'll be a few more events in the fall that I'm not aware of yet that I'll jump into. So there's still some good things. The guys that love the tournament videos, you're still going to get that. The guys that are looking for some how-to videos, you're still going to get that. And we're also going to do a bunch of different topics moving forward. You know, what it takes to be a successful tournament angler, your mindset, the discipline, you know, what is even considered a successful tournament angler. So I want to break some of those topics down in the future. Now it's kind of moving back and forth like this. Wait for it to settle down. Where was I going with this? I don't even know. I want to do a bunch of what? What do I want to do? I want to do a bunch of... Oh yeah. Alright, so I lost my train of thought there. But anyways, we got a lot of stuff we want to put together on the channel. I do have a bunch of videos with Epic Eric and myself up on on the St. Lawrence River last spring. Videos that we just didn't have enough time or ran out of time to upload on my YouTube channel. So we're going to have some, I guess you call them little treats during the winter months, during the hard water months for you guys up north. When you can't get out in the boat and you're itching to catch some smallmouth, hopefully some of these videos will help you out, get you through the long winter months moving forward. In the description below, you can check out the Ike Live interview that I did the other night. If you want, watch the whole thing. It's very long. If you want to see my part, it'd be the last 10, 15, 20 minutes of the show. I'll also have a link below for the change.org, the petition. I would love if everyone could just take a second when you get done with this video, click on that link and sign that petition. Who knows? Maybe it could help. Maybe it could cause FLW and MLF to realize this is a terrible publicity for their organization. There's only 12 of us that were affected, but it's not right what you guys did. And we want that corrected. That's all we're asking for, is to make it right for us. And don't forget to enjoy the other FLW Costa Championship videos. We got a couple more practice days and then the actual event. That'll all be uploaded on my channel in the next couple weeks for you guys to take a look at. Well, hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave any likes and comments below. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.